engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Can-Am Wrestling Show.
I mean, I've watched your show, your guys' show, you know, so it's nothing new to me.
This is Petey Williams' definition of Maple Leaf Muscle, and I need you to subscribe to Andre Corbeil on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Diana Hart. You're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show with Big Ray and Andre Corbeil.
That's right.
What brings you to my house? I see the serving while I'm wearing my PJs.
This is Monsters BC, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show, a.k.a. formerly Brodus Clay the Funkasaurus, and you do know that.
It's me, Shawn Hernandez, a.k.a. the Supermex, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
This is the effing machine, the Wolverine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, here with Andre and Big Ray, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
Ladies and... Andre, really? You got to start the show off with that horrible imitation? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Can-Am Wrestling Show, episode number 63. If you don't know who I am the mark of the masses, the man with a plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some wrestling today. And as always, I am joined by my Can-Am brother from the north, my Canadian compadre. I always call him the Canadian Destroyer, Mr. Andre Corbeil. Andre, that was one horrible, horrible imitation of our guest. Why don't you reintroduce our guest for part 2 of this interview, my friend?
Shut up, Ray. I'm doing my Supermex flex.
Yeah. Stop.
Hey, I finally got it. Come on, man. Give a Canadian his due. I told you I'd have one for you, Shawn, and I was coming for you. And
this is all full. This is all full of gin, just so you know, because I got to deal with this guy. Cheers.
You got tonic going on too, there, brother. Right?
A little bit. All right, go ahead. Let's go, man. I'm kidding. It's water.
Welcome to episode 63 of the Can-Am Wrestling Show, part 2 a la Supermex, Shawn Hernandez. Unfortunately, last week's show was cut off due to Skype difficulties, and yeah, that's why we're here tonight to bring you more of this intriguing, entertaining, and even funny at times interview with big old Supermex. It's good seeing you again this week, brother. Again.
Doing great, man. How are you doing today?
We're good, man. We're good. Listen, first and foremost, I want to say publicly thank you, Shawn Hernandez, for coming back on the show again. This was our era, or there was the internet's era, whatever. Whatever happened. But we got Shawn back. It's a good freaking day. I'm getting the hell out of here after I'm done with this. I know, Shawn, you're getting the hell out of here when you're done with this, and Andre's gonna stay home and cook up a good meal, right, Andre? Relax, all right.
I got my Hawaiian pizza fresh out of the oven for when the show is done, because the pizza maker knows.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so we're going to jump right into the questions. We're going to continue over from part 1. I got a question, and this is, again, from Twitter, and this is from one of our very, very favorite followers. This is from L Giant 37303. And L Giant asked, at Supermex CTM, who was your favorite and toughest opponent in the ring? And if you don't mind expounding on a little bit of what we talked about maybe before we started recording, my friend, a little unfortunate incident, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, this past weekend I was in Lucha Underground doing the TV tapings, and I won't be doing the whistle for about a week or two. I just got a nice little missile drop kick in the mouth. You can see this real close.
Oh, is that a tooth?
No, well, my teeth went around. I was trying to go through my lips, and it's similar to like 2009. I was wrestling Necro Butcher in Jersey All Pro. We had a table spot on the outside. We went through the table, and I looked up, and a piece of the table came down, hit me in the face, and my front teeth went through my lip right here. And I think it's a scar, and my front teeth literally went through my lips. So I had to be like Predator and go like this and take my teeth out of my lips like this. Blood was scooting out to the front row. It was really gross, man.
Ooh, nasty.
Oh, so would you say that the Necro Butcher is one of your toughest in-ring opponents? I mean, who would you say legit when you walked out of that ring? And I'm sure you walk out of that ring sore all the time.
Yeah.
But out of every single time you walked out of the ring, who was the one person that you said, you saw your name on that damn card and you said, damn.
Terry Funk.
Terry didn't take no problem besides. It was an easily Necro, because I mean we started together down here in Texas, and we wrestled each other. I can't even think how many, easily over 100 times from Houston all the way to Dallas, and we wrestled each other. We traveled and rode together. It was, when you wrestle Dylan, it's what's up. You're in for a 20-30 minute fight.
So you're getting the old right to the grill, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, sorry to hear that. All right, Andre, why don't you jump into number 5 question, my friend?
Now, Shawn, this is a bit of a personal question here. It's relating to your children. Now, we all know, the fans know, that you've been wrestling for quite some time, and you've carved your way. Would you prefer to keep your kids away from the business?
Yes.
Or, yeah, absolutely, eh? No bones about it right there.
Yes.
Nice, quick, definitive, short answer on the Can-Am Wrestling Show. So, is there anything you want to add to that before Ray rolls into his next?
Well, my kids love wrestling. They love watching me on the show and stuff like that, and they're trained. They all know how to wrestle. They're all very competent. But I mean, actually, one time I made a mistake. Not really a mistake. It was a good thing. We had a guy no-show my show from Mexico. He couldn't get across the border in time. And my oldest daughter, who's been trained since she's been 12, was like, at the time she was probably about 20, was sitting in the crowd. I go, baby, I need you. And she did a 6-man with me out of the blue. And didn't miss a beat. I mean, body slams, planches, the whole 9 yards, brother.
So is it the travel and the strain on relationships due to that much time away that you foresee if your children go into the business, or?
Oh, they won't. I won't let them. But it's mostly out of the ring things that can happen with that. I don't want my kids to deal with that at all.
All right. Can't hear you, Ray.
Ray, you're mute, brother.
He always gets that. Bro,
sorry about that.
Put some masking tape.
Sorry about that, dude. I do that. That's my cough button. Whenever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So a follow-up question to Andre's question. When your daughter was in the ring, did she get that rush that my dad told me about?
Of course.
And did you have to kind of talk her down?
Oh yeah.
Rush?
Oh yeah, because she's ready. Oh, what's my next match? I need some more training. I go, no, you're a one and done, kid. You're one and done.
All right, I respect that. So I'm going to jump into my number 6 question, and my number 6 question comes from I also do a podcast called the PW Hustle Podcast, and this comes from one of my buddies. We call him the Professor. That's Mr. Quintana. You can follow him on Twitter at PROF. All right, I'm gonna just spell out PROFP Hustle, PW Hustle, PROFPW Hustle, and he asked, "You have any stories with Sarita or Rosita?" LOL.
No. They're both good friends of mine. I've known Sarita from maybe 2003 or 4. We were both on the Indies in Mexico. I was Mr. Texas. She was Dark Angel, and I mean, we've been great friends since then. I met Rosita when we were in TNA, young kid, awesome, very talented girl, and they're both phenomenal people, man. But I mean, no LOL story for me.
No LOL story. All right, very cool, Andre. I guess we can move on.
How does the saying go, Shawn? I don't know if you know it. Born in Canada, big in Mexico, born in Canada, famous in Mexico, and big in Japan, or something like that. Sarita's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Most definitely.
Well, all right. Let's. I want to expound on this question a little bit. Let's. Since you can't give any stories about Sarita or Rosita, is there any way maybe we can talk about their in-ring prowess, or them as in-ring workers? Like how have you been impressed with them as an the first time you saw these young ladies in the ring?
Yeah.
What did you think about them? And keep talking. Excuse me one second. Go ahead, guys.
The main thing is, when I was in Mexican America, it was myself and Arkia, Rosita, and Sarita. hands down, Serena was my best tag partner.
Oh yeah.
You know, not even joke. I mean, that girl can do anything.
Well, you can tell personally she's a perfectionist in real life, and I just think her in-ring talent is highly underrated.
Yeah.
But I guess she really is famous overseas and south of the U.S. and Canada.
Most
So
definitely.
maybe she's not underrated in that regard.
All right.
I loved her run in TNA. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to say that. I was actually going to say that, Andre. That Andre is a big fan, and we thought she was going to go really, really far in that company. I would like to see her. I mean, I don't know if you still have a really close relationship with her or if you speak to her, but
of course.
Hopefully, we can see her on television again.
Well, I mean, she's got that. She's in CMLL. That's her home base, and then she does Stardom in Japan, and then. She's now starting to branch off with some indies and some bigger indies in the States. But I have nothing bad. She's phenomenal worker, bro.
All right, very cool. Andre?
And I really thought that her and Taylor Wilde were a phenomenal tag team. Probably the best women's tag team. Maybe I'll put Kong and Hamada in there too, but I think that those are the two best female tag teams. And sorry, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, you make money, you draw, but I just don't think you're on that in-ring level as those two tag teams were. So yeah, those are the two best female women's tag teams in Impact Wrestling in the Knockouts division.
All right, Andre, why don't you jump into your number 6, buddy?
Now, this is a nice and simple question, Shawn. I'm sure there's many wrestlers out there that you've yet to compete with in the ring, and I'm sure there's got to be one that stands above the crowd more than any other around the world that you just have that itch to get in the ring and work your craft with.
It's that young kid in AAA. He's a Lucha Underground Phoenix, man. He is phenomenal. The kid's, 23, 24. Tall, lanky guy can do whatever you want him to do, and then some. The guy, mark my words, he's got a Japanese background, Lucha background, speaks excellent English. I expect big things from him in the future.
All right. Now I'm going to ask a question that's not as simple, but it should be pretty decent to answer, because a lot of people were asking me this question, so I just kind of put it all together, and here we go. Now, working with Alberto Del Rio. Have you had a chance to pick his brain, and how do you feel about, and do you respect the fact that Alberto Del Rio actually stood up for what he believed in and continued to move on, past the adversities that he suffered through in the WWE?
Well, I'm very good friends with his cousin, Psychedelic Jr., and so by proxy, I've known him for a while. Actually, we did a show. It was March 27th. It was myself and Chavo versus Psychedelic Jr. and Del Rio in Brownsville. And I think it drew probably about $5,000 worth of people. And we had it outside, baseball stadium. It was awesome. And as far as your question about how he handled his business, I'm pretty positive every Latino or any minority would handle it the exact same way.
Well, that's the thing, Shawn. I mean, what I'm saying about handling his business, I mean, I would have handled it the same way he would have handled it. But what I'm saying is that the fact that he left the WWE at the phoenix of his, at the top of the pinnacle of his run, and he was due some money, so he pushed that aside. He said, you know what, I don't need the WWE, and he went back home, and it's for me, a Latino, I was extremely proud to see Alberto Del Rio actually stand up to quote unquote the man, and actually, Andre, you want to say something?
Yeah, and myself as a Canadian even was proud of how he stood up to
Absolutely.
The man and kept his morals in check. Now, Ray, I don't know if you've seen this interview, this one-on-one shoot interview with Alberto El Patron, where he basically stated that exposure-wise was the main reason why he decided to go to the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah.
But he actually had to take a pay cut because of the amount of bookings that he was having in Mexico at the time. I was really, really shocked by that piece of information, but again, this is an established superstar prior to coming into World Wrestling Entertainment, and he didn't need them as a feeder.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
good for him.
Yeah,
Good
Andre. Why don't you jump into your number 8, my friend?
All right. Well, my number 8 and 9 aren't even from me. Now, one of them's silly, and one of them's we'll roll into them. These 2 questions are from the legendary icon himself, Bill Apter, who asked, "Would Hernandez ever consider donning a mask to keep with the lucha traditions?"
If I could, if I get to hide these tattoos and come up with a character that was worth my while, most definitely. I mean, I started my lucha career as Mr. Texas, big mask with a big long horn right here, little whole bikini shorts on, Speedo style. About 310 wearing that, so it wasn't that. So you can already do the visual, but yes, lucha is in my blood. I love it. I mean, the tradition, the passion. The pageantry, I mean, the fans, the whole thing. Whatever's going to make the show better, I'll do for Lucha.
And your very first appearance on our show, you told us that you have that connection for all of the best masks that anyone can get in professional wrestling. Do you want to plug your friends' social media for young aspiring wrestlers that would really, really like to get a good top quality mask? Like the ones they see on Lucha Underground on the El Rey Network.
Yeah. Well, I get when I was getting my mask made. I got him from El Pony in Monterey. He is awesome. He did all the Sigma El guys from the northern Mexico area. His work is incredible. I mean, you see people who say they're mask makers. If you don't get it from a quality guy that knows what he's doing. I mean, an old guy with a sweatshop with no AC or no heat, and he's got his little grandkids running around, making sure no one comes into a shop and they're messing with the fabric. That's the kind of guy you need to make your mask.
Excellent, really, really cool. And what was the spelling on that, so we can find them easier?
El Pony, E-L, Pony, the Pony.
Oh, Pony. Okay, very cool, very cool.
But before we roll on, Ray, Shawn, what's your favorite mask in that company? Because there's some doozies in Lucha Underground, that's for sure.
Well, some of them, I'm not sure as far as how much has been, because I see the product all the time. I'm not sure what's been shown on TV, but if you've seen Drago's mask, it's phenomenal, bro.
Is that's a gentleman with the long green tongue? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yo, dude, actually, blue mask with the horns.
Yeah.
That would be my number one choice as well.
Wait till you see the add-ons of it on the whole pageantry of it. I mean, it's creepier than the movie Jeepers Creepers. How that guy came out, bro. I mean, it legit can scare you getting around with them.
And, all right. And as we close in on the end of these questionnaires, Shawn, I'm gonna touch base on exactly where we are within the Lucha Underground presentation. So go ahead, Ray.
No, I had a question. I don't know if you can answer it. Is that really Dragon's tongue?
That's something you gotta ask him.
No, dude. Like I'm looking at that now. Now I sound a little weird there asking that question. Yes. But the fact of the matter is that thing looks real. But I don't know how you could get it back in his face to.
Bro, the tongue's like this long, bro.
Oh,
Ray, guess what?
What?
I got a waterfront property in Arizona. It's really, really nice. Now,
read between the lines, Chief.
I'm sorry to let the cat out of the bag, wrestling fans. Please don't throw tomatoes at me for this. But he takes the tongue out of his mouth. He does this little tuck, and he takes the tongue out of his mouth.
I don't believe it.
So
I don't believe it. I think that's really his tongue.
Again, they're throwing.
Listen. We got a lot of female fans here that want to know, brother. Exactly. All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna. Is it you or is it me? It's me. All right. So now I got my number 8, and my number 8 is from Billy Ray Hustle. It's Billy Ray Valentine. He actually does reports here at OneWrestling.com. He does the Raw report for WWE, and he asked. I think we answered this question, but I'll ask anyway. Hernandez, Homicide, LAX reunion in New Japan Pro Wrestling to make a run at the IWGP Tag Team straps. That sounds pretty awesome, dude. What do you think?
Well, Homicide's on the disabled list right now. He had shoulder surgery last week. He's out 4 to 6 months. When he can come back, you'll be seeing LAX in some form or fashion. I cannot divulge when or where, but it will be happening.
Dude, I'm excited, man.
He debuted or re-debuted, so to speak, on last week's episode or this week's episode, depending on when you're watching the show, of Impact Wrestling. Yep. And I'm not sure what those weapons are called, but they're the stick, and you go like that, and then the different layers of metal.
Oh, the blackjack.
A blackjack.
Not that I know anything about that.
Oh, he was like lightning fast, wrestling fans, on that answer as well.
Oh, I had a two-parter. Had a two-parter.
Okay, just 15 seconds here.
Okay.
He returned with the blackjack. Mm-hmm. At least it's not like Stevie Ray and the flapjack.
Right.
Oh. And anyway,
you don't have to laugh, Shawn. It's fine. That wasn't funny. That was worse than that was just as bad as the Bill Apter joke. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bill.
And geez, I forgot where I was now. Yeah, he returned. They're going up against Drew Galloway and his Rising faction in TNA, and he's the extra person, the balance. What's the word I'm looking for?
He's part of the muscle for the BDC.
Well, he's the
guy that filled in for Samoa Joe.
He's the odds. Change the odds.
In other words,
there's 3 against 4 now is what I'm trying to say.
Right. And actually, it was a really cool debut to see Homicide back on TNA. Homicide, speaking off air, Hernandez, like I told you, he seems like a really, really interesting person. I would love to talk to him here at OneWrestling.com. So hopefully we can get that worked out. But anyway, the second question from Billy Ray Hustle was, and this is actually a cool question. What are your true feelings about Exotico wrestlers like Pimpinela and Cassandro?
Both of those guys are extremely phenomenal wrestlers. You know, if you know the history of those guys, especially Pimpinela, when I started Lucha, that was my tag partner. And every Monday night in Nuevo Laredo was me and Pimpinela versus the Headhunters, the 400-pound twins from New York. And
okay.
For anyone to not like or like the Exoticos is just ridiculous. Pimpinela's I don't want to give her age away. He, she, or it. I'm not sure how you want to express her, but she's been wrestling since she's been 19. She's 40-ish or higher. I don't want to get either way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think 25 years she's been wrestling as an Exotico only. Now, as you can see, it's kind of acceptable today. Can you imagine 25 years ago? You know damn well it was not.
Well, so look at Gorgeous George, the original heel in wrestling.
Yeah, but this is a whole nother level.
No, this is yes, he is. Yes. I mean, not only is Pimpinela Exotico, he is a homosexual guy, and it's known. So, at the Macho World of Pro Wrestling, he's going to get his ass took every single time in that ring. They're going to take so many liberties wanting you to quit because, I mean, let's be realistic. Pro wrestling is a predetermined sport. Mm-hmm. So if you're some macho guy, maybe you have a bad mental image and you don't want to put over a homosexual wrestler. So I mean, he's probably one of the toughest guys that I've been around. Legit, and Cassandra the same way.
Very cool. And that's the answer. I actually, because again, like you said, being in a male macho dominated, I'm not gonna say male dominated, a macho and male dominated sport. Someone playing an effeminate character. You got those guys out there that I guess, with all due respect, I guess maybe they need to feel a little extra macho and they need to try to take it out, but take it out on someone like that. But you know what, man? I give all the respect in the world to anyone who goes into the ring in a male dominated sport and decide to put out that character and be free with themselves and take the beating and keep coming and build a solid, awesome career. Because I actually know about the Exotico wrestlers, and Billy Ray Valentine's a huge fan of Japanese wrestling and Mexican wrestling. That's why he wanted to ask you this question. All due respect to anyone that gets in the ring, period. But above all, the Exotico wrestlers that actually put their necks literally, I believe, in my opinion, Sean, tell me if I'm not true, I'm not right, on the line every night, Sean. I'm sorry.
Brother, I broke mine in 2009, so it's the same thing. Pimpinella is awesome. Cassandra is awesome. Those guys are going above and beyond what they have to go. And I'll go one further, except for someone maybe like L.A. Park, the original Aparca. Pimpinella is probably my top 3 favorite wrestlers in the lucha style.
Excellent. Very cool. Andre?
And that's a real hard sell. There's only been maybe two hands worth of wrestlers that have been able to really genuinely pull off that type of character and run with it and make a lot of money with it. I'm not going to go over all of the names or whatever.
Well,
but
technically, I got like a guy like Goldust.
Adrian Street,
Yeah.
Adrian Adonis, Goldust, Orlando Jordan. You go on and on and on, but to really pull it off and make a lot of money with that character isn't an easy thing.
And also, Andre, let me just point out really quickly. This is predominantly in Mexico, where machismo is a very, very serious thing. Like the male dominance in Mexico and also many Latin countries. It's a very serious thing to play that character or to be who you are. I'm not even saying play, like, be who you are and just be open about it in that ring, dude. I give them a lot of respect, man. Andre, I'm sorry.
It's gone, bro. It's gone. Now, the next question, Sean, is another Bill Apter question. A little bit of a silly one. Since you're the Supermex, what's your favorite Mexican dish in the world?
Hands down, caldo de camarón.
And wrestling fans, that's coming from the greatest wrestling interviewer in the biz. Complex. So, what's the answer to this complex question, Sean?
Hands down, cocktail de camarón. That's my stuff right there, bro. That's my crack right there.
And what goes into that dish for the fans that don't?
It's a Mexican style shrimp cocktail. And it's awesome. I mean, it's not like how America where you get like maybe like 5 or 6 shrimp and then a whole bunch of sauce. No, I mean it comes like a big, like sundae, almost like a pitcher of beer, and I think every shrimp they can catch that day goes inside that bowl.
Okay, very cool, man, and I'm actually now very hungry. Thank you, Sean. All right, we're going to keep moving on. I'm going to ask this question. This comes from @Pharaoh of Fancy, and he asks, is it true that Lucha Underground may be taking a break off of TV after this season? Is there any way we can talk about that?
Kristen Joseph at Twitter, Kristen Joseph. He can answer all your questions. I know the answer. I don't know, that's way above my pay grade to say. Kristen Joseph is the head writer for Lucha Underground. He was in WWE for a spell, but he can answer all those questions. Unless it's unveiled, I'm not getting fired, bro. So.
Okay, excellent.
And
excellent.
I'll swipe that off my questions list.
That's good.
That's it. Obviously, you're not in the position to do so, to say so. So.
Well, I think it's only fair because they did tweet me, and I said, you know what? It's funny because I actually went back and forth with this guy, and I said, dude, he's not going to be able to answer it because obviously, it's not in his best interest to answer the question. But I said, you know what? I'll ask him the question. If he gets mad at me, I'll take the heat. So, Sean, I don't ask questions like that, but I
I'm not
apologize.
mad, brother. I'm not mad. I mean, the buzz about the show was so strong. I mean, the odds are you're pretty much already know the answer. It has not been said. That's all it is.
Right. Okay, very cool. And for me personally, let's say if the show did take a hiatus, I would personally miss it. Again, it's become one of my favorite. It's like you said, it's crack. It's so good that after the hour is done, I want more, and I have to wait a whole damn week.
And
so.
Let's not lightly tread here. The fact of the matter and the bottom line is it's the best wrestling product on television today.
I think so.
There's no doubt about it.
I think so.
This is coming from a guy. Take a look at my background, fans. Take a look at my shirt. Take a look at his background. And we're both giving it this stamp as the best wrestling product on television. And I'm sure our guest at this time agrees as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not being a homer on this. If you just watch this, the production value alone is head and shoulders above whatever else you see on TV.
Oh.
And the in-ring stuff that you're watching, man, is just all, it's like top notch, man. Seriously, like the matches are quick, concise, clean. Like, I mean, dude, it's some of the best stuff I've seen in years, man. That's why I love it. I mean, that's my opinion.
Talking about those reels, those clips, everything that Carly has done, Katrina, every single one of her segments has just been
fun. All right, Andre. Take a cold shower, my friend.
Exactly.
I would personally like her to be our next female guest on the show, Ray. I'm going to try.
All right, we'll work on it. All right, Andre, what's your next question, brother? And I'm up to my last question next.
Now, it's a WWC, World Wrestling Council question. You wrestled for them last time in October, I believe. Being aligned with Ricardo Rodriguez, how do you like wrestling in Puerto Rico, and what's your purpose with Ricardo down there in the WWC?
It's simple. Ricardo is Mexicano. I'm Mexicano. Hey, so you already know what happened there. It was you Puerto Ricans down there, right? You know how it goes.
What?
Bro, the Island Boys is pro Puerto Rico, and everyone else is second or third best.
So that means you're gonna come out and attack Ray Gonzalez, eh? Hey, Sean.
It's already happened, so you have to see what happens.
Speaking about us Puerto Rican boys, always gotta have one bedside, brother. Always gotta have one bedside. The machete, you know what I'm talking about. But no, this is just for decorative purposes. I do live in the hood, though. So anyway, all right. So I'm gonna jump off to. All right, Andre. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How do you like wrestling in Puerto Rico?
It's different. it's different. The style is different. They're a big into brawling and stuff like that, and storytelling. The crowd's kind of awkward because, especially if I'm trying to be the heel, and they remember my run in LAX. It's very hard to turn these people to how you want them. But I mean, they're phenomenal, just like any Latino crowd.
Passionate fans.
Oh, definitely. I remember one of the matches I had with Ray. I speared him through a table, threw the Mexican flag on top of him, and the crowd still was LAX, Ray Gonzalez, LAX. And then I don't know what possessed me to do this. I gave some grandma who was cursing me out a DX cross chop.
Nice.
I don't know why I did it. I should have did it. I know I should have, but I did.
Good for you, abuelita. I'm sorry.
Bro. Every piece of ice in that section was on my forehead.
Very cool. There's nothing like giving a cross chop to a 90-year-old woman. So I'm gonna move on to
that doesn't get a reaction. You're not in the right.
Speaking of inappropriate things, and this is my final question. I love asking this of a lot of our guests because it's a fun question. We're gonna go back in time. Sean, what is a teenage Supermex like? What is a teenage Supermex doing? Tell us about teenage Shawn Hernandez.
Well, for one, I had hair.
Okay.
I had the Ivan Drago haircut, the flat top.
What? Okay.
Well, my father was a Green Beret for 30 years, so you had to have a nice haircut, or you had to keep it short. I was just an athlete, I played basketball, football, all the sports in high school. I love basketball the most. I got a good Al Bundy story for you. In my high school,
that's random.
3 touchdowns in one game.
I still have the highest vertical in my high school. The highest vertical in my high school, and it's like, and I'm not gonna date myself, but do the math. It's a long time ago.
What was your weight back then?
200 pounds.
Oh, okay, all right. So you had, well, you know what? I was going to say you had some agility. You're one of the most agile big men in the wrestling game, period. So.
I'm sorry, I still see Al Bundy.
Peg! No, Peg!
Go ahead, Sean, I'm sorry.
Straight up in 8th grade, I could touch the rim. ninth grade I could grab the rim. In 10th grade I was dunking basketball, and I was about 5'10" then.
All right, but I'm not talking about your sports athlete. I'm talking about Shawn, like as the ladies' man. Was Shawn the ladies' man? What did you do to chill? What did you play video games?
Okay, just real quick. If you're 5'10" and you're a Hispanic dude and you're dunking the basketball, you know you're the cockiest mug on the planet, bro.
Bam, son.
Right.
Absolutely.
I had my nickname up until I guess I started going. I graduated college. My nickname from, I guess, 8 years old to about 25 was Tiptoe, because I walk on my toes. And
are you serious? I do the same thing.
Yep.
It must be a Hernandez thing. I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh!
It's true. I do. Anyway, go ahead.
That was good. That's good.
And that was, that's how I was known around school. And
that's weird.
That was good.
Lucky little.
Oh yeah.
All right, Andre. You're gonna ask your last question before we go back in the day and say goodbye to Shawn Hernandez. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm not totally done there yet. I added a little bit more over this past layover. Anyway,
it's all you. Go ahead.
I digress on that. Now, for fans that don't know, Shawn is signed with Lucha Underground. Your first appearance was on March 25th episode 2015. Now, tell the fans how different it is working for Lucha Underground opposed to Total Nonstop Action Wrestling or River City Wrestling or vice versa. What impresses you the most is basically what I'm asking about Lucha Underground.
Production is number one. How they can keep things from leaking the internet is number two, hands down, because...
Yeah, I've noticed that there isn't an ample amount of spoilers. TNA really has to battle that demon.
The stuff that you're going to see in the next couple of weeks was taped in January, brother.
Oh wow, okay.
So I mean, for them to be tight-lipped on stuff like that, I mean, they were tight-lipped when WO showed up. So I mean, expect a lot more surprises coming up really, really soon.
And now, where we're at right now, exactly in the show, wrestling fans, is, in a nutshell, Shawn, I've noticed how helpful you've been to the Lucha Underground champion, Prince Puma, who seems to not want your assistance or your help for that matter. If I were you, bro, I'd say screw playing nice. Like Conan said in your debut, you're a killer, Shawn. So if Puma wants to mistake your kindness for a weakness, then screw it, brother. Take his title and border toss his ass to Santiago. That's my advice, brother.
Okay.
It seems like there's a little bit of heat within friendly times right now between the champion Prince Puma and Supermex Hernandez.
Well, you know how you young cocky guys are. The younger, he's a champ. He's young. He's got the money, the fame, the chicks. He's got it all. He don't think he needs, nothing else to learn. So,
but it's not only that, Shawn. But also, I mean, let's be real. If I see a guy like you, a well-established former champion that's been all over the world, a guy that's jacked. What are you, 6'4"? 6'4". You're 6'8". You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I mean, I would look at you as a threat. I mean, and that's what I'm seeing, Andre. I think that Prince Puma sees Hernandez as a threat to his title, whether he's there to help or not. So I mean, you can't blame Prince Puma for being a little, shaky.
See, Ray, great minds think alike. We're somewhat on the same page, and the reason why I use the word somewhat is I do believe he sees Hernandez as a threat, but not necessarily 100% to the title, but to losing his mentor, Conan, who is the man's trainer, mentor, and the man basically puppeteering the talent at the end of the strings. So, Conan has already run with Supermex back in TNA. We all remember it, right? We all remember it. So maybe he sees Hernandez as a threat to his mentor. You know what I mean?
Right, cool. Now, is that the ending of your questions, Andre, or do you have one more?
No, I just wanted to ask him how his June appearance in Chikara in the King of Trios tournament was, basically in a nutshell.
that crowd was awkwardly awesome. You know what I mean? Here you got the first time ever me, Chavo, and Homicide in the same ring, and we're getting booed out of the building.
Wow.
Because, I mean, you know, the local Chicago boys were the baby faces, and it was awesome. I loved it. The worst thing you want to do is let us be a heel right off the bat, especially with me and Homicide together. So.
And what was that team? The Spirit Squad or something like that? Was it the Spirit Squad?
The Spirit Squad was WWE.
It was. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone in Chicago. I really don't know.
Okay.
But there was. I remember at the time all of them had a championship belt. That's all I remember.
Okay.
Very cool. Well, Andre, I mean, you spoke about 2006. Am I correct?
Match of the year?
Well, we're going to go back in the day. And we're going to go back in the day with Bill Schuyler. We're going to talk about Andre. Stop with that. We're going to go to BFG 2006. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels defending the tag team belts against LAX in the 6 sides of steel. Take it away, Bill Schuyler.
Welcome, wrestling fans. You got Bill Schuyler here back in the day at the Can-Am Wrestling Show. We are traveling back to October 2006. 6 sides of steel, Bound for Glory, Detroit, Rock City. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels going up against LAX, Hernandez, and Homicide with the K-Dog Conan in their corner. The champion Styles and Daniels and LAX have been going at it for weeks. This was now to be culminated in a do-all, be-all steel cage match. This thing went back and forth with frequent tags by both teams. We had everything and anything being passed into the ring by Conan. I'm talking forks, a tequila bottle, a wire coat hanger, unbelievable moves. Homicide, just a succinct, on the money, violent cruiserweight X Division style wrestler. Supermex, his strength, his power, unparalleled in TNA wrestling. And on top of that, the man could fly like somebody half his size. You have to see it to believe it. And this match just went back and forth. The champs keeping LAX on their side of the ring as much as possible, but eventually through shenanigans and the like, with Conan and everybody else getting involved doing what they had to do, we got this going back and forth, back and forth. We wound up with all the men going up to the top. AJ on the top with the steel cage. We had a Tower of Doom being built. Hernandez picked them up and dropped everybody down except for AJ, who remained on top, leaped off the top with a crossbody, taking out Hernandez. Everyone laying about like an explosion had happened in the ring. Hernandez managed to climb the steel cage himself, got to the top, and leaped off of the top of the cage. Crossbody attempt on AJ Styles and missed. With this, along with all the foreign objects put in, it would be a wire hanger that would be the do-all in the end of the champs, as Homicide put that around AJ's neck, bringing him down the near unconsciousness, got the pin for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And your new NWA TNA Tag Team Champions was LAX, because they're nothing to mess with. Viva la raza, ole, 5150, baby, you know it. They had it all. This guy's feuds will go on for more years and counting, but that's a story for another day, and I'll see you down the road.
Now that was a great back in the day segment from One Wrestling Zone, Bill Schuyler. You can follow his NXT reports right here at OneWrestling.com. Now, without any further ado, Ray and I both agreed on the same question for this next segment, our new segment, the Wrestling What If, where we throw anything out there to you, ladies and gentlemen, past or present, and change the outcome. This is something that didn't happen. Now, what do you think of Supermex Shawn Hernandez as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and what type of championship run would it have been like for wrestling fans and for Shawn as champion? Now, would you fans, who would you have booked if you were the booker Shawn Supermex Hernandez, TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So we want you to leave your comments in the comment section below and be the bookers, wrestling fans. So it'll be interesting hearing your interactions right here in this comment section below.
That would have been interesting, Shawn. I mean, I was a big proponent of seeing that TNA World Heavyweight title around your waist. Was there any time that they thought of maybe putting it on you, buddy?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Dude, I got to ask the PC question, man.
Where they, it was dangled. It was dangled. I broke my neck. I was out. It was supposed to come back 6-8 months. I came back in 2 months to dangle the carrots. And it was not to happen. Obviously it wasn't. Not enough people creative was behind the idea, so it obviously never happened. I mean, it wouldn't even happen for the little TV title or global belt they had. Or I don't know what the other belt was, but it was not going to happen. I was going to be what you call it, a tag wrestler for life.
Well, I mean, with all seriousness, dude, and we're going to end the show with this. I think it's a shame that TNA didn't put the strap on you. I think for Latino fans, I think for fans in general who love you in the ring, who appreciate not only your strength, your agility, your in-ring prowess, and even your on mic work, dude. I think you would have been a great champ. And I'm not saying it because you're here, bro. I've been saying that when I was doing my reviews back in the day, like Bill Schuyler. So, Andre?
Well, what I honestly think, I'm gonna defend Impact Wrestling in this regard, is they didn't drop the ball entirely with Shawn Hernandez. If you look in the history books, he's the second winningest tag team competitor in company history, and that holds a lot of water with 7 tag team title reigns. And let's not forget a global / television / Legends / whatever you want to call the title, which I honestly thought it was a beautiful title, Shawn, with all of the jewels and everything. But they just didn't really have anything moving forward for that, or the Knockouts Championships, tag team championships.
All right, well, Shawn, listen, again, my friend, thank you so much, sincerely, for coming back, taking time out of your extremely busy schedule. We know you're always on the road. You're doing TV tapings. Dude, there's so much you could be doing right now, but you're here. No, seriously, man, you're here talking with us. You're here talking with the fans. And, my man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, brother.
Not a problem, guys. Anytime, just give me a call, brother.
You're a good man. Thank you so much. Andre?
Good.
Follow Shawn at SupermexCTM on Twitter. Follow me at Andre_Corbeil. Follow Big Ray at Big Ray Show. Follow both of us at One Wrestling. OneWrestling.com, where you can follow other OneWrestling.com reporters such as Bill Schuyler, You Got the Show, and Billy Ray Valentine at Billy Ray Hustle. And of course, the legendary icon Bill Apter at Apter One Wrestling. Thanks for tuning in to this episode 63 of the Can-Am Wrestling Show with Andre Corbeil, Big Ray, Supermex Shawn Hernandez. We love you guys, and we're all in this for one thing.
Wrestling. Hey, Shawn, you want to know something, Shawn? I say this every single time I close a show. I would do something like this for a living, but if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, and like Bill Apter, I'm sure you've been interviewed by Bill Apter once in a while. We point at the camera and we say, we will see you
at the matches.
At the matches, baby. All right, peace. Thanks, Shawn.